Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I am going to show you how to build iSCSI highly available target server with Windows Server Failover Clustering. So basically iSCSI is a solution where we can provide the iSCSI learns or data stores, you can say, or a disk over the IP for the client machine. Like if we having a disk which is created on server, we can map those disks by providing the iSCSI learn or a disk to client machine. So we'll see how it's work and how to do this. So here is my environment which I am going to use in this demo. So we have three virtual machines which we have used in last few videos also. So and a failover clustering. So first machine is Win2K 12DC01, which is my active server. Here you can see I have assigned 2 GB RAM to this machine, and the machine IP address 192.168.1.254. Here it is. If you want, you can go ahead and see here. I have installed Active Directory and DNS role is running on this machine. If you click on local server, you can see the name of the computer Win2K12 DC01 and the domain name, which is victorinfosol.com, and the IP address also you can verify. So this is the all detail about the Active Directory server, and we have two node 1 and node 2 basically, and both are installed with Windows Server 2012 R2, and the IP address you can verify from here, 192.168.201 for node 1 and 202 for node 2, and both machine is joined in my domain, and I have assigned 4 GB RAM to both the cluster node. Here you can see the machine is joined in my domain, node 1 and node 2 also joined in my domain. So also you can see this machine is joined in my domain, and also you can see here is my Ethernet card which is enabled in this. I'm using four NICs in this machine: NIC 1, NIC 2, NIC 3, NIC 4 on this both the both the cluster nodes. Here you can see which is Windows running on Windows Server 2012. So let's do and create a iSCSI target server highly available with Windows Failover cluster. So here is step by step for deploying the highly available server. So the first thing is we need to install the Hyper-V and iSCSI target. So why I'm installing Hyper-V? Because I want to create a converged network, which is by using the Hyper-V. So install Hyper-V and iSCSI target on both the cluster nodes. So I'm going to do this on node 1. Manage, add role and feature, click next, and here is my server node 01, and select the Hyper-V server and expand the file and storage services. Here expand the file and iSCSI. I need to select the iSCSI target server here. So click next, and leave the everything default, and just click here restart the destination server automatically if required. So basically this machine is going to restart because we are installing Hyper-V, which required reboot, and now you can see the installation is started, and same we need to do on our node 2. So select the Hyper-V and iSCSI target server we need to select, and leave the everything default, restart the destination server automatically if required, and just click on install. So you can see the installation is started on both the nodes. So once the installation is done, it will reboot the both server automatically. So just wait for a minute. It will take around less than 1 minute to get the installation done for both the roles, which is Hyper-V and iSCSI target server. So here you can see installation is done, and now the node 1 is rebooted and is working on features. And node 2 you can see also the installation is almost done. so it's also restarting. So both the node are like installed with the Hyper-V and iSCSI target, so it's rebooting. It will take some time to get to the login screen. So might be Hyper-V require 2 reboots to enable the Hyper-V role on a server, so it will require one more reboot. So here you can see it's restarting once again. So node 1 is rebooted. Click Ctrl Del to log in. Node 2 is also restarted. Hit Ctrl Del to log into the server. Oops, it's not taking my password. So now we are logged into both the nodes. So here you can see installation is succeeded on node 2. So Hyper-V is enabled. On node 1 also we can verify the installation is succeed, and go ahead and close this. And now the next task is create a NIC teaming and create Converged network and configure IP address on all NIC. So let's do this. For this activity I have created one script at my desktop, you can see here. So in this script we can see converged -v NIC is my NIC teaming. So I'm going to create first NIC teaming on node 1. So you can see NIC teaming is disabled, so I'm going to click on it to enable this. And here tasks, new team, assign the team name and select all the 4 NIC which is available for me, and click OK. And same I'm going to do on my node 2 to enable network teaming. Click on NIC teaming disabled, select the all 4 NIC and click OK. And now on node 1 you can see the NIC is created, but it's taking some time to get the all 4 NIC up and active. So just hold for a few seconds. So now you can see the all 4 NIC is active. Go ahead and close this. And if you refresh this now, you're able to see we have only one NIC enabled, which is taking IP address converged VNIC, which is basically a team network. And here you can see on node 2 as well as. So everything seems good. And now I'm going to create this hyper converged network NICs for us. So let's open PowerShell IES by using run as administrator. And now open the script which is saved on my desktop to create a 4 virtual NIC here and associate with the machine. So script, click on run. Now you can verify the below is given running a script selection, and same I'm going to do on my node 2 as well as. On desktop select the script and click on run script. So here you can see on node 1 the script is completed and it's created the NIC for us. So if you go on network and security center, here you can see all 4 NIC is created, and we can configure the IP address as well as. So I am going to configure the IP address. If you go here on my next slide, you can see the IP address configuration is given there. So basically domain network only requires a DNS and gateway. Rest live migration communicate only within the cluster nodes, and cluster network is also for the heartbeat. It will take the heartbeat from between the cluster only. And iSCSI need to connect with the iSCSI SAN device from where the LUNs are coming, so we need to take care about these also. So we need to configure the IP address. So first configure on domain, and I am going to disable the IPv6 for everything. So click here and provide the IP address. It's 192.168.100.201 and the DNS. Click OK. And now the IP address for iSCSI. iSCSI I am using the 10 series, which is 10.10.10.201. The subnet mask is class C default subnet mask. And for cluster we have to select the for heartbeat. Basically this is being used, so 192.168.2.201. and for live migration it's need to be configured as a 3, so just wait for a few seconds here. So 192.168.3.201 and put the class C default subnet mask. Click OK. So let's do the same IP configuration on my like node 2 as well as. So let's verify first on node 1. So everything is configured correctly here respective to IP address, and we have created the NIC teaming. So let's configure the IP address on node 1 or node 2 also in the same manner. So go to Network and Security Center, details, and first configure the domain address, domain network IP address, which is 192.168.1.202, and the DNS IP address which is required to be configured for domain NIC. Now iSCSI, go to properties, IPv6 uncheck, and configure the IP address 10.10.10.202 and class C subnet mask, and same we need to create for cluster. One 192.168.2.202. Click OK. OK, close, and same go ahead and configure for live migration. It's 192.168.3.202 and class C subnet mask. So you can verify we have configured the IP address as per given diagram, which is given in PPT. Here it is. So seems everything good. And now go back and create a high available storage on iSCSI disk, or also you can do one thing, you can create a local disk on machine. So I'm going to create a local disk here. So on my, you can say on any node we can create, but I'm going to mount this because if I am doing the failover test from node 1 and if my disk is mapped in node 1 only, then it will fail. So that's why I'm going to use a iSCSI a disk which is highly available to add to my cluster node. So let's open this iSCSI like StarWind virtual SAN I am using here. So go to iSCSI target, I am going to add a 2 disk here. The first one is for quorum, so quorum disk, it can be 1 GB size, so leave everything default here. Click on close, finish, and I'm going to add one more disk here, which is like iSCSI disk 01 for 5 GB. This is only for demo, so I'm not using big size of LUN or disk. So in production you can use whatever you need. So iSCSI disk 02 and leave the size for 5 GB, this one also. So we have created one for quorum and two for iSCSI LUNs. So now go and minimize, and next step is install a failover clustering and multipathing on both cluster nodes. So I'm going to do this. Now click on add, manage, add role and features, and go to features page and add a role failover clustering and MPIO multipathing, and click on install. Same I'm going to do on 9 node 2, add role and features. Next, select the server. On the feature page, select the failover clustering, add features, and select the multipathing, and click on install button to begin the installation. It will take around less than 1 minute to get the installation done for both the features, and then we can proceed with the next step. Now installation is succeeded on node 1 and node 2 also, so go ahead and close this, and now we move to next step, which is enable MPIO and restart the both cluster nodes. So I'm going to do this now. So tools, MPIO, and I'm going to add a discovery multipathing for add iSCSI software for iSCSI device, add, and it will ask to reboot. The reboot is required to complete this operation. Reboot now, yes, I'm to reboot now, and same I'm going to do on node 2 as well as, and repeat now. So it's rebooting now, both the nodes are rebooting, and the next step is like discover iSCSI target and add disks on both the cluster nodes. So we'll do this after the computer restart. So just wait for a minute to get the computer rebooted. So here it is. Click Ctrl Del, and now as the multipathing enabled, we can go ahead and check the disk management before mapping the iSCSI LUNs. So we have only one disk here. I'm going to change the CD drive to Z letter, and now go and tools and launch the iSCSI initiator. And yes, I want to run the service every time after computer restarts. I put the IP address of the iSCSI target server, which is in my case StarWind or my host machine. So click on connect. Now you can see the connect and click on enable multipathing, and that's all. Now if you go here, you can see the multipathing is enabled. So we have 3 disks. Bring online all the 3 disks, and then we can go ahead and initialize the disk. So select the MBR, leave the default, and click OK. So all the disks are initiated, so make it Q as a QRM. So 1 GB disk for QRM disk. It's QUORUM. QRM disk. Click next and finish. And same, we have to create a 2 node drive for make it iSCSI 1 and iSCSI 2. So new simple drive, click next, select the D drive and put here iSCSI disk 01 and click next, and you can copy this also to make the say a few seconds. And on third disk, iSCSI disk 02, and click on finished. So now if you go to my computer, you are able to see that these disks in computer. So we have a disk 1, iSCSI disk 1, disk 2, and quorum disk. So let's do the same. Map the iSCSI target on node 2. So let's log into node 2. After reboot, wait for the server manager and go to tools, and you can go to iSCSI initiator, and yes, I want to run every time. And now let's go to computer management as well as go to disk management basically. So here you can see disk management is open. Let's change this as a read Z drive, CD drive as a Z. Yes, and now go to iSCSI initiator and type the address of the iSCSI target, which is my host machine. So click on Q connect and just find the disk, and let's make it enable multipathing. So it's already assigned, good to know. And let's bring online and make it like Q drive for quorum 1 and 1 GB disk. And now you can build the board disk. So now you can see that we have the same disk on both the cluster nodes, node 1 and node 2. So for now seems everything okay, and now we can move to the next step, which is create Windows Failover cluster. So you can do it from any of the nodes, so I'm going to do it from my node 1 actually. So tools, failover cluster manager, which we have installed just before reboot. So we have option here to like validate configuration. If we validate, then we will, if everything looks good, then we can get the get and create the cluster. So let's validate the both nodes is good to go for like promote as a cluster node. So it's checking the server. So both the server name is added. Click next and test. I recommend to run the all tests. Also this is here, you can see it's recommended, so go ahead and click on next, and it will run this system configuration, storage, network, inventory, Hyper-V configuration things. So go ahead and click the run. Now it's running the test. So test is currently running. It will take some time. So I am pausing the recording here. Once the test is complete, we'll resume the video from there. You can see the test is still running. It will take for 2 nodes it will take around 5 minutes to get the test validation done for all the things. So just wait for a few more minutes to have a report, then we will analyze the report, and if everything goes well, then we can go ahead and create the Windows Failover cluster. So I'm pausing the recording once again here. For now you can see everything is passed, everything is looking seems fine. So let's wait for a few more minutes to get this validation done. So the testing is completed successfully. Now if you want to see report, click on view report. You're able to see the report here. So everything seems good, everything is success. We have some warning on network which can be ignored, like IP address configuration. It's taking something like a IP address which can be configured, as we have verified on all the 3 like all the NICs which is configured have a valid IP address configured on node 1 and node 2. You can verify on both. So this can be like ignored. So let's go ahead and uh, create the like cluster by validated nodes. So click finish. Now create cluster wizard is pop up, click next and type the cluster name. So in my case it's win cluster 01 and IP address which I need to configure, which is 230. You can say click next. And now add the all eligible storage to cluster. Yes, I want to go ahead. So here is my cluster name, cluster node 1 and 2 and IP address. So click on finish. Now you can see it's creating the cluster. So creating resource type, cluster IP address. So it will not take too much time. It would take less than 1 minute to create the cluster virtual object. So waiting for core component, attempting node, and this measure query configuration. So everything is done. So you can go ahead and click on finish. Now you can see it will automatically connect to cluster. So we have a cluster here. So we have successfully created win-cluster01. If you go to roles, we don't have any roles yet on installed on this cluster. So nodes, we have two nodes, node 1 and node 2. You can verify here. And on the storage, we have storage like all the 3 disks which we have created, and 1 GB disk is allocated to quorum. So you can go ahead and put here like quorum disk and make it like iSCSI disk 1. iSCSI disk 1, and this is going to be a iSCSI disk 2. So we have renamed this, and basically we are doing the 8th step, which is modify the cluster disk and network settings. So we have configured the disk name on cluster disk, and now if you go to networking, you can see we all the 4 NICs are added here. So I want to rename these NICs so we can identify easily. So if you go here, I'm going to copy these names from here and just paste there, and for the domain which is configured at the series this 192.168.1.0, we need to configure this as a domain vnic, and the next is iSCSI, which is configured as a 10 series. So make it iSCSI NIC, and we have live migration which is configured on 3. So let's go here and configure the 192.168.3.0 series, and the last one is cluster network, which is going to use for heartbeat only. So make it heartbeat. So we have done this, and now let's do the live migration setting. So I'm going to use the only live migration, like for live migration rest I'm going to uncheck, and Ethernet v live migration vnic is going to use for live migration. So everything is done. So we have done the initial configuration for the cluster, and now the next step is create iSCSI target server cluster on Windows Failover Cluster and add disk. So let's do this. So now you can see the both the disk is available. Our iSCSI disk 1 and disk 2 is available. We can go ahead, and now we can click on roles and configure role, click next, and now we have to select the role which we want to configure. So in my case It's iSCSI target server, so select the target server, click next. Now put the IP name, so I'm going to put here iSCSI cluster 01 and the IP address is 231 and click next and select the storage, both the NICs, and click next, and now everything is good. And if you go and click next, now it will create the cluster for us. So here you can see the highly availability was successfully configured on roles. So go ahead and close this. So here you can see the cluster is running as a type iSCSI target server. So let's do one failover and check everything is working fine. So move to best node. It will move to node 01 because we have only two node in this cluster, Windows cluster. So now you can see it's processing and it's moved to node 1. So just wait for it showing pending and now running it's on node 1. So everything is working fine since now. So let's create do the next step, which is map the iSCSI disk on client machine and test the iSCSI node failover by doing manual cluster node fail. So now I'm going to create a disk here, which is iSCSI disk. So node 1, click here and create a virtual disk. On a server name you are able to find the location disk. So we have iSCSI-cluster 01 is listed there. So click next. Now I'm going to create a iSCSI disk 01 and in a D drive put it 4 GB and click next. And there was no target created yet, so new target, create a new target and put here like iSCSI cluster 01 target server and click next. And we need to add the access servers, so I'm going to put the IP address here for my machine, which is 192.168.1.51. so this is basically my Windows 8 machine. If you see here, this is configured as IP address. So I have added this 192.168.1.51 as a and target server, iSCSI target access server. So click OK, and now it's need to be configured as a IP address basically. So put here IP address and name 192.168.1.151 and click OK. Now its IP address is added. Click next. Don't need to enable the authentication. Click next and create. And now it's creating the iSCSI virtual disk. Then it will create the iSCSI target and set target access and assign iSCSI disk to target. So this will take few seconds. So just wait for get the things ready. Create iSCSI disk is completed. Now it's creating iSCSI target for us. So it's now running set target access. So everything is completed. Now go ahead and click on close button. Now you can see its initializing is running, and same I want to add one more disk here. So here you can see new iSCSI disk, and this time I'm going to put an E drive. Click next, and name is iSCSI disk 2. Click next, and virtual disk size it will ask in next window. So 4 GB and fixed size. Click next, Now we have created one target, so I'm going to associate with the same target and click connect, create. So now it will create the only disk, virtual disk for us, and it will associate this disk with the same like iSCSI target. So it will take some time, just hold for a second. So virtual disk is created. Now it's assigning iSCSI disk to target. It's almost done. Background you can see initialization is started. So we'll add both the disk in iSCSI initiator on our client machine, which is Windows 8. Once we have a like initialization is completed and its status is good to go to connect. So let's open a disk management. So here you can see we have only one disk added, which is basically configured as a C drive. So just wait. So I'm pausing the recording here. Once the initializing is done for both the disks, we'll resume the video from there. So now you can see the for iSCSI disk initialization is almost 97% done, and for disks 2 82%. So it will take few more minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, to get the initialization done and clearing all the disk, both the disks. So I'm pausing the recording once again, and once we are done with this, we'll resume the video from there. So now initialization is done 100% for test 2 as well as. So just wait for a few seconds. Now we can go ahead and launch the iSCSI target on our client machine to map the disk. So go to start button, type iSCSI initiator, set up iSCSI initiator, and here you can see it's launch. Yes, I want to run every time when computer start. And let's verify one more time. So everything looks good here. So go here and type the like IP address 192, basically it's 192.168.1.2.31. you can verify the name from here, like the IP address of the cluster. You can see here the cluster is running on 1.23 or 231. So put the IP address, click here. So now you can see it's connected. Let's connect as a multipathing. So click here, connect, and select the multipathing enable. So now you can see we have disk added there, and we have two disks, and let's map to the machine. So initialize both the disk, and now I'm going to create a drive for like make it iSCSI disk 01, and make it iSCSI disk 02, and it will take some time to format the disk. So here you can see one disk is mapped. Wait for the second disk, E drive. So now you can see the board disk is added. And to test the failover, now the last step we need to do that failover, test the failover. So what I'm going to do, if you go here, you can see the node, its iSCSI target server is running on node 1. So I'm going to like shut down the node 1, and let's see what is going to happen here. The disk is highly available or not. So going to just shut down. Now you can see its migrating role will migrate to node 2. Here you can see owner has been changed from node 1 to node 2, and it's pending. And here you can see, if you go here, you can see disk is just still accessible, and it's not like we did not lose a connection with iSCSI disk or the disk, and the role is transferred to node 2, and everything looks good here. So we have successfully tested the failover for the iSCSI disk here. So good to know. And you can see also the node 1 is down. So So this is all about the how to build iSCSI target high available server with Windows Server Failover Cluster. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, please post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.